We'll just give everybody a minute or so to come in and then we'll get started. Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome to our new client webinar. My name is Emily Keister, and I'm the Senior Manager of Content and Communications here at Qtrade, and we are thrilled to have you join us today. We have a great agenda planned. My wonderful colleague, Brent Greaves, is here to share more about what an online brokerage does, how to get started with investing, and give us a demonstration of what the Qtrade Direct Investing platform has to offer. So to ensure we have enough time to cover all of this great material, we've put together today's agenda without a break. But if you need to step away at any point, please feel free to do so. We are recording today's session and we'll be sending it out via email after the event. So before we get started, I wanted to just tell you a little bit about Qtrade. We are one of Canada's most awarded online brokerages, winning dozens of awards over the past nearly 20 years. And we're also backed by the strength of Aviso, one of the country's largest wealth management companies focused on powering businesses that empower investors. So I'm just going to run through a few housekeeping items and then we'll kick off the webinar. So during the webinar, your mic and camera will be automatically turned off, but we do want to hear from you. So please ask any questions or share comments using the Q&A feature in your Zoom window. We have time at the end of the session so we can answer any questions that you might have. And for those that we don't get to today, we'll include those in that email follow-up. We also have two $50 gift cards we'll be drawing for during this event. So please stick around at the end to see if you're one of our lucky winners. If you're having any issues like a frozen screen, I recommend exiting the meeting and joining back again. That usually will fix it for you. And finally, your feedback is so important to us. A survey will appear on your screen at the end of the webinar once you leave, so please take a minute to fill it out while it's fresh. But we'll also send that in that email afterwards if you don't get a chance. Okay, so to get started, I did just want to provide a quick disclaimer, so I won't read it all, but I just want to highlight that this material is for informational and educational purposes and is not intended to provide specific advice about, without limitation, investment, financial, tax, or similar matters. So before we dive into the platform, I have a quick poll question for you. So we want to know, how much have you explored the Qtrade platform so far? So take a minute to pick one of those options in the poll. All right, I think probably everyone has had a chance. So let's see what the answers are. Okay, so this is great. A few of you, most of you have logged in and explored a little bit. So hopefully you guys will get a lot of good tips and tricks and information about the platform through this session. Okay, so let's get right into it with our presenter. So please welcome Brent Greaves, the Director of Product Management here at Qtrade Direct Investing. So over to you, Brent.
Great, thanks, Emily, and thanks everyone for joining us today. As Emily mentioned, the goal of today's webinar is to help you get to know the Qtrade platform and what it has to offer, so that you have the information you need to get started with investing. We'll cover what you can trade and how to trade, but first we'll provide you with some information on how to fund your account. So funding is generally the first step to start using your Qtrade account, and Qtrade offers several convenient funding options. The quickest and easiest way to fund your account is instant deposit through Interact, which we're excited to share will be available in the next few days. This funding option allows near instant deposit of your funds into your Qtrade account, allowing you to take advantage of potential moving markets sooner. It does have a $3,000 limit, so keep that in mind when you're deciding which method to use. Next up is transfer an account. If you already have an investment portfolio or registered funds, such as cash in a TFSA, RSP, or RESP, and wish to transfer them to Qtrade, this is the funding option you'll want to start with. The good news is you can complete your request fully online, including an e-signature. So that means there's no need to print and mail any documents. There are a few things to consider. There are different transfer types. For example, there's in-kind, which transfers your assets as is, or there's an option for in-cash, meaning everything is sold and the cash transferred. These are the two most common types where you can transfer either a partial or the full amount. Or you can also use a mixed transfer, which means you can pick and choose how you'd like to transfer your assets. And just a quick note, processing times will vary by account type and transferring institution. What you need to know is that Qtrade will initiate your request immediately. However, in some instances, for example, when you're transferring a pension plan, where transfers can take up to 10 weeks to complete. Our next option is bill payments. If you want to trade quickly and beyond the $3,000 Interac limit, bill payment is another good option. You can trade as soon as you see the money in your Qtrade account. To fund your account by bill payment, you'll need to initiate your request from your bank or credit union through your online or branch banking. Through online banking, you can search for and set up Qtrade Direct Investing as a payee and enter your Qtrade account number, which you can find in your Qtrade account under bill payment. Then you submit your payment similar to paying any other bills online. If you need additional guidance, we do have a how-to video for bill payment, which we'll include in our post-webinar resources. And our next option is electronic funds transfer, or EFT for short. If you want to set up regular auto deposits, transfer US dollars, or transfer larger amounts, EFT is the best option. To fund your account by EFT, you'll need to complete two steps. First, you'll need to link your credit union or bank account to your Qtrade account. And Qtrade provides the convenience to digitally link your account through the Qtrade platform. This is the quickest and recommended option. It minimizes processing time and issues that occur when uploading a void check. And once your accounts are linked, you can go ahead and initiate your EFT. The funds will appear in your Qtrade account within 1 to 2 business days. However, please note that deposits may be held for up to 10 business days, which is why we recommend the bill payment. And I just want to point out that if you want to set up recurring deposits, you can do so through the Qtrade platform. To demonstrate how to fund your account by EFT, we'll play a quick video for you now.
To use electronic funds transfer, you will first need to add your bank account by connecting to your financial institution or uploading a void check. Sign into Qtrade Direct Investing. Go under Accounts, select Transfer Funds. Then select Electronic Funds Transfer. Select Add a new bank account, then click on Connect to your financial institution. Now, choose your financial institution. If you don't see yours listed, you can also search for it by name. Enter the username and password for your financial institution, then check the box and click Continue. It may take a few minutes to connect. You will also need to complete the personal verification steps. Now choose the account from which to transfer funds. You are notified when your bank account is successfully added. You can also add a new bank account by selecting Upload a void check. Enter the name of your financial institution, then upload an image of a void check or equivalent, following the guidelines provided, and click on Add. Once you've successfully added your bank account, click to expand the electronic funds transfer section. Select the bank account you'd like to draw funds from. Select the Qtrade Direct Investing account that you'd like to transfer them to. Enter the amount, frequency, and start date. Then click Send Request.
Apologies. So hopefully that video was helpful and will help you fund your account. So now that we've covered how to fund your account, let's go through the investment options available through Qtrade, or what you can buy or sell through your Qtrade account. So Qtrade offers all exchange traded securities. So you have access to stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, and options. Let's start with stocks, also referred to as equities. Stocks allow you to buy shares or ownership in companies listed on the stock exchange. Through Qtrade, you have access to all Canadian and US listed companies. A few examples are Royal Bank or Apple, are some of the examples of the 1,000 stocks available. Next, we'll cover exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. ETFs allow you to invest in a bundle of stocks or assets that track an index, like the S&P 500, or a specific sector, for example, financials, or follow a specific theme or strategy. One of the more popular themes recently is artificial intelligence. Through Qtrade, you have access to all ETFs that trade in Canada or the US, including for those interested, ETFs that invest in cryptocurrencies. I also want to mention that Qtrade offers over 100 ETFs that you can buy or sell without being charged commission. And there's no trade or investment minimum. Next, we have mutual funds. Mutual funds are similar to ETFs. They also allow you to invest in a bundle of assets. However, the key difference between the two being that mutual funds do not trade on the exchanges and are only valued once per day after the markets are closed. Qtrade provides access to over 9,000 funds through 68 different mutual fund companies. Through Qtrade, you have access to low MER, or low-cost funds, where the fees are generally lower than if you were to invest through an advisor. And last, for more experienced traders, Qtrade offers options trading. With options trading, you can trade calls or puts, depending on whether you think a stock price will go up or down, or they can be used to create strategies using one or more call or puts. Options can also be used to generate additional income for example, through a covered call strategy. So if you're interested and want to learn more about options trading, happy to share that we'll be launching our Qtrade Options Lab in December. This exciting tool provides unique strategies and education tailored to your portfolio, risk, and options trading experience to help you take your trading to the next level. We'll be hosting a webinar all about options trading and the new Options Lab early next year, so watch out for an invitation soon. Also, for those looking for more stable investment options, Qtrade offers bonds and GICs. So bonds are debt instruments issued by companies and governments that pay you a predetermined interest rate. Through Qtrade, you can buy or sell Canadian, that being company or corporate, or government bonds online through Qtrade's bond trading platform. Or if you want to purchase US bonds, you can do so by contacting the Qtrade trading team. And next, if you're interested in GICs, we recently updated our GIC offering and now offer GICs from 23 different issuers, and you can invest with a minimum starting at $5,000 for 1-year terms or longer.
All right. Thank you so much, Brent. So we have another poll question that we have for you guys. So what types of securities are you most interested in buying through Qtrade based on what Brent just shared with us? So everyone could take a minute to choose which one they're most interested in. Love to know. All right, let's see what everybody picked. All right, it looks like the majority of you are very interested in stocks and ETFs, which are great. And those are definitely some of the most popular things that people are purchasing on our platform, especially those free ETFs that we offer. That's such a great benefit of being a Q trader. Right, so I will put it back over to you, Brent.
Great, Emily. So let's continue. So before you can start buying or selling stocks or ETF, it's important to understand the different order types you can use when trading and how to place a trade through Qtrade. There are 2 types of orders that investors should be aware of. First is a market order. A market order buys or sells shares at the best available price until the order is completed. A market order is best used when trading liquid, meaning high volume stocks, when the market is open. You'll need to be careful when placing market orders when the markets are closed, as the price of the stock can change when the markets reopen the next trading day. Next is limit. Limit sets the price you want to buy or sell a security. A limit order specifies the price which you want to try and buy or sell your shares. Just a quick note, there's no guarantee that your trade will be completed if your limit is set too low when trying to place a buy or too high when selling. Qtrade also offers two other order types. We offer the stop order. A stop order For a stop order, the buy or sell is triggered when a stock moves above or below a specific price. This price is known as the trigger price. Stops are often used as a way to avoid large losses or to lock in profits. And lastly, the trailing stop. Similar to a stop order, the trailing stop is similar to a stop order, but what you'll need to know is that the trigger price may rise as the stock price increases, which allows you to lock in additional gains. We do have a screenshot on the screen on the slide here. It might be a little bit hard to see, but you can access the various order types through the order type dropdown on Qtrade's order entry page. You might also notice this is where you can trade other investment types that we previously mentioned. Now, to demonstrate how to place a trade online, we'll show you another quick video.
With Qtrade Direct Investing, buying a stock online doesn't have to be complicated, even if it's your first time trading. There are 3 easy ways to start your stock trade from the Qtrade Direct Investing homepage. 1. Under the Trade header, select Equities. 2. Select the Trade button under Quick Links. 3. Input your stock's ticker symbol under Get Quote. Select Submit and click Buy from the quote page. When you choose this option, some of the fields referred to in this video will auto-populate with your stock's information. Next, select the type of security you'd like to buy. In this example, we'll choose an individual stock. Specify which account you'd like to buy your stock from and the country it's listed in. Now, input the ticker symbol of the company you're buying stock in. You can find it by clicking the magnifying glass and searching the company's name. Under Action, select Buy. Enter the number of shares you want to purchase under Quantity. Under Order Type, select Market. A market order is the simplest order type. It allows you to buy a stock at the best available current price. Leave the good through date set to today. This field applies to other order types, which allow you to specify a desired time frame for your order to remain open. Make sure your phone number is correct in case we need to get in touch with you about your order. Select Review Order. If you see anything on the confirmation screen that you need to change, select Modify, make your updates, and resubmit. If your order looks good, click Submit Order. You can check its status anytime by going to Order Status under the Trade header on the home screen.
Okay, so I really hope that everybody has learned a little something so far about how to fund your account, what we sell, and how to buy and sell things. And now we are getting to the exciting part. So we're going to exit out of the presentation, and Brent will take us through a live demo of the platform. So over to you, Brent.
Thanks, Emily. Just bear with me while I share my screen here. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see that. So I want to introduce you to the homepage when you log into your Qtrade accounts, or what we call the Qtrade dashboard. So what we'll do is we'll start on the top left here and go down and then move over to the right. Just a quick note, this is our demo account. So the numbers and figures may not line up with what you might see on a traditional portfolio, but it'll give you a good example of what you'll experience. First off, we'll start with the market value chart on the top left here. So this provides you with your market value journey over time as your accounts, with your accounts. If you do want to change between the different periods, you can do so by just clicking on the periods below the chart. As we move down, we have your portfolios. So this is a snapshot of your portfolios and how they're performing on a given day. You can use the carousel here to service additional portfolios if you have more than 3. And I'll just click on this
So
option here.
That's super cool. So I see you've selected portfolio score, and now I can see there's like a D and a C there. So are these like letter grades in school, and it sort of rates your portfolio from that perspective?
Exactly. So what we'll go into portfolio score in a little bit here, but um, that's exactly what they are. And just keep in mind that again, these are demo portfolios, so the grades may not line up with what you'd expect to see for your own portfolio. Okay, and as we move down the page here, we also have our top equity movers. So this is an important section for those checking on their accounts, as this will surface the securities in your portfolio that have moved the most on a given trading day. And you'll see within the securities here, we also have these star ratings. These are provided by Morningstar, which is a recognized research vendor, and will give you a snapshot on how your securities are viewed. Now, if we move to the top right of the dashboard here, we'll start with get a quote. So here you can enter a company name or symbol, and what you'll get is access to a real-time quote for that security. And next we have our stock market indices. So you can view your preferred indices here. We have the S&P TSX, as well as the US indices as you scroll to the right. The next section is our quick links, which has some of the more useful tools that are popular with investors. We have our watch list, where you can create your own portfolio or of stocks that you're looking to invest in, plus quick access to our trade and order status. As we move down, we have the portfolio analytics section here.
Yeah, I really love this part of the homepage because it really gives you some easy ways to access all of the great features and tools that are available and the ones that would be most useful on a day-to-day basis. And
Right.
I think, yeah, let's go back to that portfolio analytics and show everyone that portfolio score feature that we were talking about earlier, since I know that is one of our more popular features. And I really like how it can give you that feedback on your portfolio and how it's performing across several different dimensions.
For sure. Great idea, Emily. So let's click into portfolio score here. So what our portfolio score tool does is it gives you a portfolio valuation across a number of key dimensions. As you'll see here, there are metrics for performance, fees, and diversification. So as I mentioned, this is a test portfolio, so there are only a few positions, and the score and view of that portfolio are a little bit narrower than you'd generally expect to see. So let's click back to the homepage here.
Right. So, Brent, I know a lot of people in this webinar are probably just getting started with Qtrade or perhaps just getting started with direct investing. Do you have a recommendation for a tool for people who are just getting started on their investing journey or on their Qtrade journey?
I do. So we do have our goal planning tool that was launched just last year, and it's great for helping people get started with the platform. So let's click in and take a quick look at that. So first up, what we see here is our goal planning dashboard. So this will give you a summary of current goals that you've set and how you're tracking towards those goals. For those looking to set up new goals, you can do so using this Add Goal feature, where you're presented with a quick questionnaire. So the goal planning tool is fairly straightforward. You can fill out the questionnaire and proceed through, and it will result in a goal projection for you, so you can track your investments on an ongoing basis.
Hey, awesome. This is so great, Brent. Like, I love talking about how we have such a robust platform and all of these tools available for our Q traders. But outside of the tools, can you also do things like update your information and get things like your tax documents while you're in the platform as well?
Yes, so we have the Qtrade Service Center, which is accessible under this accounts menu. And if you proceed to Service Center here, this is where you can do a lot of the administrative tasks on your account. And as Emily mentioned, you can also change your address under our contact information here, or you can view your statements and or tax documents through our View e-Documents option as well.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for that demo of the platform, Brent. So let's get back into the presentation because I have a couple more things that I want to show everybody, and then we will get to all of the questions. I see that we already have a few that's come in. So I know you guys are eager to get your questions answered. So we just have a couple more things to go through. So another thing that we are super excited to share with everyone is our latest feature, which I'm proud to say will be launching tomorrow, My News. So My News is an AI-driven personalized news feed that delivers curated content tailored specifically to your interests. So it analyzes your past activities and preferences and then gives you relevant articles and updates, which really helps you to cut through the noise to bring you that most pertinent information. And you can find it in your homepage in the navigation menu under My News. And you can even pop out that window and monitor your news all day long without having to be logged into the platform. And then you can very quickly log back in if you see something exciting or something that's going to motivate you to buy something new. Okay, and then the last thing that I really want to quickly touch on is Qtrade's mobile app. So we launched a brand new version of the app in the spring, and it showcased a refreshed user interface and improved user experience. And then you have access to real-time stock and ETF quotes and market data, improved charts across the app, including a new advanced charting tool, and new analyst buy, sell, and hold ratings and price targets from industry experts, and as well as a much improved options trading experience for our more experienced investors. So the app offers much more, so I encourage you to download it from the Apple or Android app stores and give it a try. It's a great companion to the desktop version of the Qtrade platform. So, oh, there we go. So we hope you got some insights into how to use the platform and tools available to you as a Q trader. So before we move into answering your questions, I just wanted to take a quick minute to highlight some other resources that you might find useful. And I will include the links to all of these in that follow-up email that we'll send to you after this webinar. So in the welcome email that you received when you opened your account, you would have received a link to the Qtrade welcome page. So I highly recommend bookmarking this page so that you can easily come back to it. It has videos, curated content, and resources to help you get started with Qtrade. And if you visit the education section of our website, you'll find an extensive collection of articles about investing, including strategies, account information, and guides like how to get started with online investing, and deep dives into registered accounts like the TFSA and the RESP. And we also have our Help Center available 24/7, where you can look at our FAQs and search for answers to questions you may have. And we also have an AnswerBot chatbot there that you can ask questions as well, and it will search that FAQ database for answers. And if you're looking to learn more about the markets, we offer weekly and monthly commentaries through our weekly Market Pulse and monthly Q Review to help you make more informed investing decisions. And there's also more market information on the platform as well. And so I also recommend checking out our YouTube channel, where you can find video tutorials like the ones that we showed earlier in this presentation about funding your account, buying and selling securities, and more. And finally, I encourage you to follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn. We're regularly sharing bite-sized investing tips, timely investing content, and the latest and greatest Qtrade news to help support you on your journey. Okay, so now it is time for our lucky winners. So my wonderful behind the scenes colleague, Danny, has entered everybody's name into a randomizer, and we have selected 2 winners. So congratulations to Catherine Giroux and Sanjay Duda. You guys are our winners. So watch your inbox after the event. We will be emailing you your gift card. Okay, so now it is time to open the floor to questions. As I said before, please use the Q&A feature to ask us any questions. So we have a few that's come in. So Brent, if you want to come back on video and go off mute, you and I can answer some questions together. Okay, so the price of stocks looks to have some delay and differences from the live market price. Can you explain? So Brent, you want to talk a little bit about delayed versus real-time quotes?
Sure. Yeah, great question. So there are different areas of the platform where there are real-time quotes versus delayed quotes. So anytime you look and search for a quote using that get quote tool as we looked at, or click on one of your securities from your dashboard, that will give you a real-time quote. So that's a live market price, which you'll see when the markets are open. There are areas of the platform, for example, the watch list or the portfolio views, where you will see a quote that is roughly 15 minutes delayed.
Okay, great. So this one is, I have a TFSA with a BMO mutual fund. How do I find out if Qtrade offers that fund for purchase? So how can people search mutual funds?
Yeah, another good question. So using that same get quote, you can search the mutual fund in particular, the specific mutual fund you're looking at. And if you have questions on eligibility and if you can transfer that to Qtrade, then I'd suggest that you just reach out to our trading team. They'll be happy to help.
Awesome. Okay, let me just look at a couple more of these questions. Oh, here we go. So for the free ETFs, do we charge the fees and then reimburse, or is it free to buy and sell? Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's free to buy and sell. So there's no investment minimum. There is you can't day trade the security, so you can't buy and sell multiple times on the same day, but you could buy, say, today and then sell on the next trading day, and there would be no commission applied.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, so we have a question about how our pricing works. So it says, for the $8.75 that we charge, is that for each share? Or do you pay $8.75 just per order? So
Yeah, so it is per order. So when you place a trade, whether it's 1 share or 100 shares, the 875 would apply to that individual trade.
and I also recommend we do have some different pricing options for people like our Investor Plus pricing and our Young Investor pricing. So I will include details about that in the follow-up email, which can provide some savings on those trading fees as well. Okay. How do I get the recording as I missed some of this presentation? So yes, as I mentioned a few times, this has been recorded and we will be sharing a recording with everybody as well as any of the links or helpful information that we have talked about in this webinar. So you guys will receive that in the next few days. Okay. Can you buy a US stock or ETF with Canadian dollars?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the short answer is yes, you can. However, if you were to then sell that security, the money would be converted back to Canadian dollars. We do offer US dollar denominated accounts, so you can buy and sell in the same currency. So just something to keep in mind when you are doing that.
Awesome. Are there fees for are the fees for stop or limit orders different than for market orders?
Nope. The same trading commission applies to the order type. So whether it's a regular market limit or the stop orders that we mentioned, the same commission would apply.
Okay. Okay, this is a related question, I think. So are the fees per transactions different for certain types of transactions?
So yeah, that's a good question. So we have the equity and ETF trades. So the standard or base commission is that $8.75. If you're trading options, for example, then it would be $8.75, but there's a per contract amount, which is currently an additional $1.25 per contract. There is different commissions for bonds as well. So you'll see that in our bond trading portal, but commissions do start at $24.99. And for GICs, there is no commission. So when you invest in the GIC, you'll receive the rate that is posted there. No commission applies.
All right, so do you have any high interest savings accounts? So we don't offer a traditional high interest savings account, but there are a few options for people on the platform. So we do offer access to HISA funds or ETFs. I don't know if you want to add a bit more to that, Brent. We have a great article on our site as well about this, which I will link to in the follow-up email. But Brent, do you want to add anything about people are sort of seeking that sort of HISA fund experience, but what can we offer them?
Yeah, so through the platform, you do have access to cash savings ETFs, so you can search for and place those trades online, or as Emily mentioned, the high interest savings account that trade like mutual funds. You can place those through the platform as well, and those would pay you that straight interest rate that you're looking for.
Okay, so if the funds I'm using to invest come from a GIC, I've opted not to renew. Are the funds treated or registered differently when I use them to invest? So I think this is sort of wondering what happens if once your GIC matures and you don't renew it, what happens to that cash? Does anything special happen to it, or do you just get it as cash that you can then use to trade?
Yeah, good question. So if you do have a GIC that you purchased through the Qtrade platform and that GIC then matures, which we don't set up reinvestment options, so you're basically free to invest as you like. So you can choose to invest those into the ETFs or other securities once the funds are available.
Oh, this is, I think, probably a good one for us to talk. We had a couple questions about this, but I think they all sort of align with the idea of the free ETFs. So one of the questions is, if I buy one of your free ETFs now, will it also be available for free in 5, 10, or 15 years? So Brent, you want to talk a little bit about our free ETF list and how that kind of works?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good question. So when we do add ETFs to our free ETF list, there are sometimes ones that are removed. Now, the good thing is that when we do remove them, we allow you to sell commission free until you've exhausted your position. So we won't penalize you for buying it when it was free and if it is removed at a later date.
Okay. So this one's a good one too. When you sign up for a drip, is there a commission fee when the stock is purchased through a drip?
No commission applies. So when the dividend pays out, we'll process that reinvestment, which you'll see online. But yeah, short answer is no commission applies to drips.
Awesome. Okay, where can people find the list of the free ETFs?
So it's available on both our public site. So before you log in or after you log in, under the accounts menu, there is the commission-free ETFs link, which then leads you to I guess the two lists. There's a Canadian list and a US list. So that meaning Canadian are ones that are traded on the TSX, and the US ones would be traded on the US exchanges and denominated in US currency.
Okay, great. I think we have time for a couple more questions. Thank you, everybody. These are great questions coming through. And as I said, any ones that we don't get to, we will answer in the follow-up email. So is the portfolio balance after market close based on the closing price that day?
Yeah,
So
really
there
good
it is.
question.
Yeah.
So the portfolio valuation, so we have a portfolio valuation view that takes the bid prices for these securities at the end of the day. The reason that it does that is it's a liquidation value for a portfolio. So if you wanted to sell your entire portfolio, that's the actual amount you would get. Sometimes the last traded prices are not a good indication of what the portfolio might actually be valued at, which is why we use the bid price.
Okay, do we offer a lower commission fee if there is a set amount or more in investments? Yes, so we do offer Investor Plus pricing for people who, there's a few different ways that you can qualify for Plus pricing, so we'll include those in the follow-up email that we send after this. But yeah, Investor Plus pricing, I believe you get, it's $6.95 per trade instead of the $8.75. Okay. Can I pay with PayPal? Don't think so.
No, not currently, yeah. So the funding methods that we walk through, those are the only ways you can currently fund your accounts. Yeah, we don't support PayPal at this time.
If using market price, how is the best available price determined?
So it's based on the security that you're looking to trade. It's based on a number of factors, including liquidity. So how many shares are traded for that security? I guess maybe if we use an example, Apple, it trades, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of shares per day. And when they use the ask price will change from time to time. So the ask price is what you will pay with a market order. So you just have to be aware of, and I guess be checking when you're placing that trade what that ask price is.
Okay, awesome. So I think we'll do two more questions and then finish up. So can I trade options in a TFSA account?
You can. It is only a specific type of option. So you can buy long calls or puts, or you can write covered calls, for example. The additional or the, I guess, more experienced strategies aren't available in registered accounts. For that, you would need to open a margin account, which would allow for that.
Okay, awesome. And so I think for our last question, let's go with this one. So can I set up automatic deposits to my Qtrade account from a savings account from a different bank, or do I have to use a checking account?
Good question. Generally people will set up recurring deposits from a checking account. Depending on what your account at your savings account at your financial institution allows, it may allow you to do that as well. You would need to link that account first, either through our online platform where we use the digital bank connection, or if there's a direct deposit form that your bank can provide that we can use to link up your account as well.
Hey, awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for all of the questions. I know we didn't get to all of them today, so we will take these away from the Zoom meeting and we will develop answers to all of those questions and include them in that follow-up email. So I did just want to again thank Brent for joining me today and for all of you for taking the time to attend this event. And congratulations again to our lucky winners. I really hope that you guys found this informative and this really helped you get started with Qtrade. So as I mentioned, we would love your feedback. So once this webinar ends, you will see a survey link appear on your screen. So please take a minute to fill it out while it's fresh, or you can fill out the survey when we send out that post-event email where we will include a link to the recording as well. We are planning on doing more webinars in the future. So your feedback is really, really important to us. So please take a moment to fill out that survey if you can. And so from all of us at Qtrade, thank you so much for attending our webinar. Watch out for that follow-up email that'll be coming later this week with all of the links that we discussed, all of those answers to any questions we didn't get to, and a variety of other helpful resources to get you started. Happy investing, everybody.